Can you tell me exactly what's happened?
Tractor rolled over me.
Okay, and whereabouts are you on the property?
Up the race, turn right.
Is your property well signposted from the Tinapai Road?
Yes.
What part of the body are you hurt?
And over my whole body.
Your whole body?
Yes.
The ambulance is coming as fast as they can, okay? Just stay on the line with me.
On 12th of May 2012, I got run over by a tractor. Rolled over the top of me across my lower back and broke my pelvis, my hip and 4 vertebrae in my back. No one knew where I was, so thankfully I'd put my cell phone up in my top pocket of my shirt. If it had been in my jeans, it would have been crushed as the tractor ran over me. And when I pulled it out, I had no cell phone reception. Managed to sort of hold it up in the air and wave it around for a while and get reception and call 111. And about 40 minutes later, I had 2 rural fires, the police, and then the ambulance turn up. And at which point they realised that they'd have to get the helicopter out. When I got to hospital, the doctor said to me, "You're so lucky to be alive." And at that point, they still had no idea whether I was full of internal injuries and would need surgery or anything. Where I was, it would have taken probably an hour by ambulance. That was 12 minutes by helicopter. Yeah, you've got to have it in the rural areas.
Well, Steve Hutchison then, as the chief ambulance officer, he came to me one day and said, "We do need to get something organised for a helicopter. What do you reckon?" And I said, let's go and do it. So that's exactly how it happened.
At that time, rescue helicopters were just starting to get a foothold in moving patients around in New Zealand. By 1988, the Northland Emergency Services Trust was being formed, and they were coming on board and saying, "Yep, how can we do this? How can we make it work?"
If you divide this machine into 155,000 little pieces, each of the people of Northland own that piece. This is a trust set up for the people of Northland, and it is owned entirely by the people of Northland.
So they leased their helicopter, the first helicopter, which is a Jet Ranger, which wasn't very big. It seemed big at the time, but wasn't very big now looking back. We had nothing at the hospital. We couldn't land at the hospital initially. We used to land down at Horace School. And then we still had to put the patient in an ambulance, take them up. It's only around the corner, but still take them up to the hospital there. And so quickly it became apparent that we needed to put a helipad somewhere on the hospital campus, and it became on the rooftop. To that end, nearly every Northland community fundraised and put helipads around their own hospitals. Years ago, we would take patients to Green Lane Hospital in Auckland when it used to do the cardiac surgery. And it amazed me that I could go into Kaikoui in the middle of nowhere, or Kaio, tiny little hospital, land on a purpose-built helipad, concrete helipad with lights, pick up the patient, and then land at Green Lane Hospital and have to hover over the grass to get the tourists out of the way to land in Cornwall Park. There still wasn't anything in Auckland dedicated to helicopter landing. It was incredible. It still makes me smile now to think about it.